Hello and good morning, everybody. It's Susan, and it's December the 31st at 9:30 in the morning. And I wanted to bring to you today my last project of the year for 2010. And what this is this is a Wild Orchid Craft flower project. And I wanted to share with you how you can create and design your own flower from Wild Orchid Crafts. And this was in the box of the lovely flowers that were sent to me by Paul and Siri. And these are those very large roses, and when you touch them they actually feel like they're chalk. That the paper that it's made with is so thick and of such excellent quality that you cannot be afraid to work with them. And when I say by working with them, I mean painting them. And what I had done was I took a simple plain paintbrush here, and the first step was to take the flower out of the bag, and there's 20 of them that come in this bag, and they all come with this short wired stem at the bottom, and there's like the leaf at the bottom like a real rose would have. And what I had done was I took this color by the name of Tutti Frutti, which is by Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist, okay? And that's like kind of like a bubblegum pink color. And I sprayed that all around the flower, and I waited about 5 minutes, and I sprayed it again, wait 5 minutes, and I sprayed it again. And now that I've kind of almost saturated somewhat the mulberry paper, I started to slowly use a pair of tweezers, which this is a really bad pair to show you, but they're full of glue, but these are, I can't do it without these. What I started to do was slowly bend all of the leaves back. Now, if you look at the flower, you know, originally, you can see that the one that I just created using that flower is twice the size. And the reason that is because when you wet these flowers, the paper expands. So I wouldn't wet them with water. I would wet them with, you know, paints, and maybe some mica powders mixed with paint, or some of you ladies like to make your own. I've never even tried mica powder before. I'd like to do that at some point. Anyway, when I bent the large roses, the large petals back, I still had these right here around the center that were still very tight, even the ones that were the third layer, which are these, that were still very tight. So I sprayed it again and again and again, and about 3 or 4 more times, and using the tweezers, gently sticking them behind the petal, which loosens it up. And when I did that, I just peeled it back very, very gently, not to tear the paper, because now it's very forgiving because it's wet. And when I had done that, I had taken another color by the name of Suede, which is really a beautiful brown that has a very nice gold shimmer. And I took some of that on my paintbrush, and I painted the edges of the flower, and I'm hoping that you can see that on the video, just to give it somewhat of shading, but still have it remain pink, but a very slight shading on every petal all around the edges. And when I was done with that, I still was not satisfied. Even though it looked really pretty, I wasn't satisfied because I was looking for something that was frilly, that was very girly, and because this I may be using on a card. I'm really not sure yet, because I do have a pending project, which I can quickly share with you because I don't want to spoil it. But I have this project here that I just finished lining this box with the Tim Holtz papers. And I was going to put this rose at the very top of it, and then cascade other flowers around it and leaves and gems. But I need to make a card, and I may be using this for the card, and also just to show you that you can use these flowers for other things aside from embellishing altered items. So when I was looking at this flower that was now pink with highlights of bronzy brown, I wanted to bring more to life to it, like the dewdrops on a rose. So what I did was I used something called Winsor Newton Iridescent Medium. Works very well with watercolors and on flowers, and I have used it many times on my own handmade flowers. And I put the paintbrush in there and I just dabbed around the edges, and when I did that, it slowly started to melt into the corners of the rose, and I just spread it around, and then I added this color called Stardust Stickles, which I love stickles, and I added the stickles and just trying to go around the flower to give you an example of the dimension of that. It's still high, and it'll be high off the page, because if you look, I'm sorry, I didn't want to take out another flower because my desk is horrible, but I'm going to do that for the sake of the video, and I really try to keep everything organized and clean, especially my supplies. So, here we go. Now, if you look at this original flower from Wild Orchid Crafts, and then you looked at the one that I played with, it's doubled in size. Now, this changes your project completely. This is so very beautiful. If you're going to leave it the way it is, maybe shimmer it up a little bit with some sparkles for like a wedding project or something, because this color is like an off-white color. And this other flower here is something that you can really play with, whether using it on a project like an altered box or some other kind of project, like maybe a perfume bottle top or around a dish of some kind or the center of a plate, even the top of a bookmark. But this may be going on a card, and I'll definitely share that with you after the new year. But just as a last project for Wild Orchid Crafts of 2010, I needed to share with you how beautiful you can make something else with these flowers, and don't be afraid. That's what I do. I don't get afraid when I touch something. I just get right into it, and if I mess it up, I know that I can always fix it. And so, ladies, I don't know if you've had a chance to go over and check out their site. It's www.wildorchidcrafts.com. I received such a lovely email the other morning from Paul and Siri. They are back from vacation, and they have a lot coming in store for us to see on their website within the next month or so, and I really can't wait to see the next package that they're sending me. Because I would really like to make something special to share with you, to show you that there are other things that you can do with Wild Orchid Crafts flowers and the other embellishments that they carry on their website, in which you do not have to shop only paying with British pounds, but you paying with the British pound, but you can pay with other currencies as well. That there are lots of other things that you can make aside from just a card or a little box or what have you. At some point in time, I'd like to show you, I'm so sorry for getting off camera really quick, what intention that I have, and I'm just going to give you a flash of it. I had purchased this probably about 10 years ago, and I hope you can see it with the camera. This is a wired silhouette of a dress form, and I used to make a lot of bridal dresses. In fact, on here I would transform this into actually looking like a headless bride. I don't know if any of you have ever seen those, but with lots of satin, lace, pearl bows, ribbons, and veil and all those other beautiful embellishments, this would turn itself into a magnificent piece. And just keep in your mind that there are, again, a lot of things that you can do with your own flowers. and flowers that you can purchase and that you can also try from Wild Orchid Craft. So give it a shot, check them out, and again, don't be afraid to try things out and play around with it. Just dig in there, and one of my goals really for 2011, and I love to shop and I love to try new things, but I really would like to utilize what I have and play with some of those things, because sometimes I buy something, try it, put it aside, and with all the stuff that I have, I just forget about it. And I wanted to also share one last thing with you. I had a $10 coupon that I received in the mail at AC Moore, and when I went to the cemetery over Christmas to visit my dad, I used the $10 store credit, plus they had discounts going on. It wasn't a store credit, $10 coupon, and I bought the Tim Holtz ticket strip, which I really have been wanting for a while, and then thinking, well, what am I going to do with it? But I really wanted to start making other types of embellishments that I can incorporate and even use with Mod Podge on other boxes, like a total ticket box, which I think is one of my next projects coming. And just to quickly share with you, what I did was I just stamped on a plain piece of white cardstock randomly stamps that I had, which that one is a really pretty flourish stamp, and the rest of the stamps are French stamps from Stampers Anonymous, Tim Holtz, and then I put the paper in the ticket strip and cut it out, and now I have this really cool ticket strip that I made on my own with regular white cardstock, which I use the Staples brand that you get 500 sheets for $14.99, and it's kind of a money saver because I have it for almost a year already, and I have half a package and I've used quite a bit of it. But can you just picture using these tickets that you just made by spray painting them, etching them with inks, sparkles, glimmer mist, maybe a button in the corner, a snap, or some kind of other embellishment, lace around it. I mean, you can do a million things with these, and how fun would that be to make a project with that? So again, I really like to work with what I have, and that's why I'm going to be having a grand old time with a lot of the supplies that I have received. So anyway, everybody have a happy and a healthy new year. I wish all of you happiness, health, good fortune, smiles, and sunshine all the time in your life. And may, when the bell rings, all of your dreams come true for 2011. I love you all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hugs and squishes. Just like my friend Jen would say, have a wonderful new year and enjoy and be safe. See you guys in 2011.